In the early 1980s, Chris Gardner walked into a highly competitive stockbroker interview wearing a paint-splattered jacket and no tie. He had just spent the weekend in police custody for unpaid parking tickets. Despite having no financial background and looking completely out of place, Gardner walked out of that room hired. He used a specific, actionable behavioral skill to control the room, proving that confidence is an applied habit, not a genetic trait. Over the next 6 minutes, we are going to build a personalized, written confidence action plan designed to upgrade your specific behaviors. To do this, you need to participate. Grab a pen and paper right now or open the Notes app on your phone. Do not keep watching until you are ready to write. Generic confidence hacks often fail because they attempt to change how you feel without changing what you do. By building a concrete, personalized plan, we shift the focus away from vague emotions and toward the specific mechanical behaviors that determine how you show up. Step 1 is the diagnostic. I will list 5 scenarios. Based purely on your immediate gut reaction, rate how relatable each one is on a scale of 0 to 5. 0 means it never happens, 5 means it happens all the time. Scenario 1 is the fear of judgment. You walk into a public space or prepare to speak in a meeting, and you immediately feel like everyone is watching you, thinking about you, and judging your every move. Scenario 2 is shyness. You enter a room full of new people or arrive at a networking event, and you completely freeze up, avoiding eye contact instead of joining a group. Scenario 3 is self-worth issues. When a friend or colleague shares a big win, your immediate internal reaction is to compare yourself to them, concluding that you are inherently less capable. Scenario 4 is people-pleasing. Someone asks you for a favor or invites you to an event, and even though you desperately want to decline, you automatically say yes. Finally, Scenario 5 is overthinking. You face a simple choice, but you cycle through endless what-if scenarios until you are completely paralyzed and make no decision at all. Look at your numbers. Circle or highlight the single scenario that scored the highest. That is your primary target. When we break confidence down into these 5 distinct categories, that overwhelming, vague feeling of being underconfident begins to dissolve. You have identified a specific pattern of behavior, which means you now have a manageable, actionable target to improve. Step 2 is mapping. We need to assign a direct behavioral antidote to your specific target. If you circled fear of judgment, your antidote is focus shifting. Because you are already imagining what people are thinking, you must actively force your brain to imagine they are thinking something positive, like they think I look great today. If you circled shyness, your antidote is the 5-second initiation. When you enter a new environment, you must force yourself to say hello or ask a question within the first 5 seconds before your brain has time to freeze. If your target is self-worth, your strategy is evidence building. You must act as your own defense lawyer, actively listing the hard facts of your past successes to counter feelings of inadequacy. If you struggle with people-pleasing, you will use the RDR framework. And if your highest score was overthinking, your antidote is the action loop breaker. Expect these new actions to feel highly awkward the first time you try them. The goal right now is just to initiate the behavior. Do not worry about doing it perfectly. Confidence is not created by sitting in a room and trying to think positive thoughts. It is built by repeatedly forcing a new mechanical behavior until your brain accepts it as normal. Step 3 is scripting. We are going to write down the exact words you will use today. Let's look at the RDR framework for people pleasers as an example. The first R stands for reason. Provide a brief, valid excuse. Write down, my focus is on another project right now. D is for denial. You have to clearly state the no. Write down, so I won't be able to commit to this. The final R is respect. End the interaction on a positive note. Write down, but I wish you the absolute best with it. When you have this exact script already written down on your phone, you eliminate the sudden panic that usually causes you to default to an unwanted yes. Step 4 is the rewire. At the bottom of your action plan, write down these 3 daily psychological anchors. Anchor 1, I do not need everyone's approval. A restaurant that tries to serve spicy food, sweet food, Italian, and Chinese all at once to please every single customer will eventually fail. You cannot adjust your behavior to fit everyone's preferences. Anchor 2, facts are small, Stories are big. If you stumble during a presentation, you might think everyone remembers it for years. It is like acting perfectly for a CCTV camera that is actually turned off. No one is watching or remembering your past mistakes but you. Anchor 3. Confidence comes after the jump. Standing at the edge of a pool and waiting until you feel perfectly fearless only gives your brain more time to build anxiety. The feeling of confidence arrives after you take the leap. You must read these 3 anchors every single day. If you don't actively remind your brain of these facts, it will revert to its old, fearful default settings. Look at your paper. You now hold a fully completed action plan. You have a specifically diagnosed weak point, a prescribed behavioral fix, a written script, and 3 daily mental anchors. Chris Gardner walked into that brokerage firm in dirty clothes because he chose to take the jump right then, rather than waiting for a perfect moment that didn't exist. That single action secured the job that launched his career. Now it is time to break your own overthinking loop. We are going to take one action before you close this app. Execute one micro-action right now. Send that RDR text message, schedule a calendar event you have been avoiding, or post that piece of content you are sitting on. Confidence is earned exclusively through action. The timer starts now. Take the jump.